at Podshop Studios in London on Friday, the 7th of February 2025. I'm Mutia from the Leading in Love podcast and Emma from the Sex from Every Angle podcast joined forces on the captivating topic of attraction, covering friendship, dating, love, and so much more. We decided to collaborate to encourage meaningful conversations with those who hold different perspectives and opinions, as we feel it's vital to engage with one another, to spread understanding and empathy. Most importantly, we aim to promote a message of peace and unity, especially in the face of oppression, stigma, and hatred that often divides us. So tune in as we explore these essential themes and share our personal insights on
God
attraction.
showed me that and I've been learning that you have to choose a partner based on, is this person the kind of person that I want next to me even at my lowest point?
Yeah.
Not just at the
Yeah.
butterfly, like we mentioned,
Yeah.
butterfly. So like I was listening to Sarah Jake Roberts. Remember I sent you one of her sermons the other day. It's the Girl Get Up sermon, that woman. Yeah.
What a woman.
Yeah, so I was listening to her and she said that her father gave her advice that choose a partner that you would want standing next to you when you're lowering me into the ground. That's someone that has that emotional maturity to be able to handle that. And someone like if someone does if you observe someone doesn't have emotional maturity to possibly like handle their own ups and downs.
This last relationship, one of the things that would come up was that he supported me through my postnatal depression.
Oh yeah.
And he's, and I'll be eternally grateful for that he supported me at my lowest. But then that doesn't mean that, so what? Does that mean I then sacrifice my love, my happiness?
Yeah, if you're
and
not
I feel
happy,
obliged
yeah.
because of that? No, that's not love either. Love can, like you say, love can change. And just because you have been there with someone through their darkest days, and likewise, it's like I've been there for him as well.
Yeah.
But and I had this conversation with his family. I was like, but where do you draw the line where it becomes self-sacrifice? I don't think any of us should sacrifice like everything for somebody else. Like, this is the thing with love, in movies and books and stuff and songs, we're fed this idea that love is pain and sacrifice and compromise. And again, like Eartha Kitt, the queen that she was like, compromise?
Do you ever feel like you've had a relationship that reflects the idea of what you think love is?
No.
So okay, fair enough then.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, like, I feel what you're saying isn't.
Do you?
I feel like what you're saying can be a little bit contradictory, because whether you like it or not, you're going to have to compromise, you're going to have to sacrifice.
I don't know.
Yeah, like in even in your job, your work, with your children, it's not always going to be like, I don't understand.
Yeah, no,
I don't
but
understand
think
this type of love that you're talking
yeah,
of.
Because
that doesn't require that.
It is rare. It comes back to, what do you define as a compromise, though?
If you're not sexually attracted to your partner, you can't stand them to touch you, I feel that's a good enough reason to break up with them. That's not fair on him, and it's not fair on you.
Exactly. So what do you feel is a valid compromise?
Sorry?
What do you think is an okay compromise?
I would say, for example, having different hobby, like interests.
I would say that is love.
Yeah.
I would say that isn't
That's
compromise. But that isn't. I would say that isn't a compromise, because that is love. Because you love this person so much, you want them to do things that they love.
Like, say for example, like if you have an extrovert and an introvert,
Yeah.
I don't believe in all this. Like, I can't be dating.
Yeah.
Like, you can be opposites. That's fine. Do you know what I mean?
Because that
and
is
you can
love.
complement each other.
Because love is unconditional.
Yeah, and you can compliment.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might feel like, for example, like I said, communicate. Like, I like sending voice notes. I'm not gonna be like, I need someone that can send me voice. Like,
but that's not compromise. That is love, because love accepts where it is. Love just is. So there is no compromise with love.
I don't know what you're saying, to be honest with you. I said there's compromise, and you're saying no, that's not compromise.
That's not a compromise. That is just accepting someone for who they are.
I would say in some sense that is a compromise. So for example, there's this girl, I don't know if you ever watched Love on the Spectrum, and obviously she's on the spectrum, but she has a very rigid thing of what she wants. The guy has to work in the same industry as her. The guy, exactly.
But that's not love then.
Yeah, the guy has to, and she got what she wanted.
No, that's not love.
So like, I feel like the majority of us, in some cases, I might say I want this and then not get it, but
that's not love.
So
you can't say it's compromise because it's not love.
No, for example, I might say, I want a 100% provider.
Right.
Yeah. And then I meet a guy and he doesn't have the financial capacity to 100% provide for me. I've still got to go to work. I would still be able to love that type of person.
Yeah.
Or you can say it's something that you wanted and you didn't get and you compromise because you love that person.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. No. It's interesting. I'm not saying I have all the answers. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm figuring it out. This is what I'm saying. I'm figuring out what is love.
It's possible to love someone and they don't tick all. That's what I think I'm trying to say. It's possible to love someone and they don't tick all your boxes.
Yeah.
Say, for example, you can get like vegans that marry non-vegans and Christians that marry non-Christians. I know like many interfaith marriages. You might say you might have this picture in your head of what you want and it might. But I think that comes down to self-love though.
Yes.
When you love yourself enough to not need someone to tick all your boxes.
Exactly. That's what we're both on the same
you're whole
thing. We're
in
just
your
trying to say
whole
it in a
within
different
yourself.
way. Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like compatibility can be maintained. I don't know if you agree with that.
I don't know if I can. I do.
Like making an effort with each other.
Yeah, but it gets to a point, again, like my last relationship, actually you shouldn't need to make an effort. Because
you shouldn't need to make an effort in your relationship.
No, not in that way. No, not in that way. Like, we get so caught up on making an effort in a relationship is doing things, okay, like date nights but actually compatibility and love, they just are. We
are both having such an individual experiences and we have to be mindful of to say it is like this, it is like that.
Everyone,
but I would say that if you don't feel like making an effort, that's fine. But I do feel like
it's not about effort. Okay, it's like, how to explain this? Energy doesn't lie. Yeah?
I think it does lie because I've had anxiety before and my energy's lied to me.
Okay.
So it does lie. Like there was one time that I had anxiety and I was aware that it was anxiety. I thought this and I knew it was in my head. So energy does lie or your mind does lie. Or
your mind lies, yeah. But I think
what you think is energy could be lying to you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So you could say, I know this person and actually you're anxious.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But I think it's like we all have this intuition, this knowing within us, don't we? Deep down. Sometimes it can be buried under depression or anxiety or insecurities or wounds. But deep down, there's a knowing.
Yeah.
You know? Like you knew that it was your anxiety.
Yeah, for example, for me, like I feel like we're on different pages, different chapters. You started dating like 8 years ago. You've completely changed since then. So now if you entered a relationship, so I kind of do emphasize you on that sense. If I was married to the person I wanted to marry 8 years ago, so I have to laugh. If I was married to the person that I wanted to, but then again, some people, they have reached that stage like when they're 20, but I hadn't. I actually genuinely hadn't. I'm a completely different person to what I was 8 years ago.
It's all lessons.
Some people, they're
it's coming back to these people coming to your lives for you to learn.
So some people are literally kind of had a clear idea of what they wanted and knew they were 8 years ago. I was on a different. I was I wasn't.
But I would say to that, the people who think they have a clear idea of what they want to do in their lives and who they want to be, it's often an egotistical, logical thing.
I don't know. Like some people, are able to do that. Like some people literally, like your friend that was, like you said, you had your friend on, she knew she wanted to be a stripper when she was a child, she said. So I'm not going to deny that she knew that. Is it egotistical? Who am I to say?
Yeah, exactly.
Who am I to say?
True.
So like it's true that I can decide from the age of 10 that I know I'm going to marry this guy, and I could know. We have to respect the individual's experience. True. Definitely. So like even that, I was like, I don't really agree with that. But I respect that.
Yeah, exactly.
Her
and
experience.
I think we just have to be mindful of like within ourselves. Am I doing this because it's what my intuition and my soul wants to do? Or am I doing this because it's what I should do?
It's just because I went to university and it was a terrible experience. I'm not going to write anybody else off for doing it.
Exactly.
So I feel like, yes, sometimes it's because other people are telling you. Sometimes your intuition is right. Sometimes your intuition is wrong. but it's all down to individual experience.
Yeah, and I think it's getting to a point where there is no right and wrong.
Yeah, so like
there's no judgment. It just is.
It's true. Some people will choose a path and realize, oh, it's just because my parents told me.
Yeah.
But some people, literally, at 10 years old, they know their path and they won't change their mind.
Yeah, and that's
okay.
That's great. Yeah.
But we shouldn't, you know, like if a 10-year-old, we shouldn't tell that 10-year-old, you don't know who you are.
Of course.
They might know.
I know, like my son is adamant he's going to be a video game designer.
Yeah, exactly.
And he comes out with all these amazing ideas and I'm like, yeah, go for it.
Exactly,
you know, like I think like you and I are both fortunate in that sense, how we've said we both grew up with mothers who were very supportive of, yeah, go do that if that's what you want to do, if that's what makes you happy. Yeah.
I'm just going to ask 2 more questions and then close it down. So briefly, I'm gonna say briefly because I want to maybe go over some things if we need to. How would you say that you so we're talking about healing and empowerment, by the way, on this segment. How would you say you navigate like a breakup? I'm gonna go first to give it like just so I can say it like briefly. Like I would say one thing that really helps me is movement, getting out there, having fun, dancing, like exercising.
I recently discovered ecstatic dance.
Oh, okay.
Food for the soul. It's so wonderful to also move your body and use your voice, not for anybody else, but for you, not in a performative way, just what feels like those primal urges. And you realize like, this is the juice of life. This is what, like, we are animals really. And like, we need to move. We need to be out in nature. We need to do these things, these animalistic things. So there
was one time like, this person, I wasn't in a relationship with the person, but like, there were quite a like strong connection in my life. That connection is completely broken down. We haven't spoken for a while, but I remember like I was going on, like this person had annoyed me and I was on a cruise ship, but I was on a cruise ship crying, but I was like, do it in style. I'm not saying you've got to go and take a cruise if you're having a breakup, but I'm saying like, even if you go to the thing and you're crying through it, like do it. Do you know what I mean?
Feeling is healing.
Feel like go to the church, even if it's like you go to the church, but you like, you don't want to be there because you're like, be miserable there. And, do you know what I mean?
But I think we've got to be mindful. Feeling is healing, but don't let it spiral you down. Let it show you where your triggers are, where your wounds are. What did that? Because I was thinking about, well, what is heartbreak? I think people bandy it about a bit too much. Oh, I'm heartbroken over this relationship's broken down, and it's like, but are you really?
No, you're
like,
not.
Is your heart actually broken?
No.
Or has it just been a way of showing you where there's things that need healing still, or where you need, you know, where you have, because actually again you have the permission, you have to consent to say, oh, I'm gonna be heartbroken.
Do you know what the thing is? I feel like sometimes I'm one of those people, like, do you want to say you break it down, you put it back together? I literally break it down and rebuild. Like I'm literally
alchemize it.
I'm always literally a different version. When I go through something, I literally become a more evolved version of myself. I don't put the old pieces back together. It's like literally
you can make something better.
I'm literally,
we grow the most in the hard times, in the heartbreak, if we want to call it that. And you can choose, okay, is this heartbreak going to break me? Is it going to ruin me?
Oh yes, I think that's I agree.
Am I going to alchemize it? And grow and learn.
Can I tell you something so interesting? With my ex, right, when we met, so interesting. Like when we met, I didn't know that I was going to date him. I didn't know the relationship was going to break down. But I made a video, like, and we were dancing in this club, and we were dancing, and the song in the background was now go walk out the door, just turn around now, because you're now welcome. And I was like, and it's so funny because when I look, it's almost like sometimes I feel like God orchestrates things into my life, and God knows that this thing isn't gonna last.
Oh hell yeah!
And God knows that this thing is just to like align me to my true path.
The signs are all around us. God is like constantly giving us signs, but it's just up to us whether we want to see it. And whether we want to then listen, and whether we want to then take action.
I'm also so grateful because I am someone that learns and reflects, and from other people. So like, no matter how chaotic or bad or unhappy the experience makes me, I will sit down and say, what did it teach me?
And what a gift
what did it teach me? And I'm not like, oh, I didn't like that person, we're not a match. That was a waste of my time. I'm like, what did this teach me?
Because it's coming back to attraction. You attract lessons ultimately.
What do you think about Valentine's Day? There's Valentine's Day and there's a month after the steak and blowjob day. I don't know if people say.
I'm not anti-Valentine's. I'm not anti-steak and blow. I mean, well, I would say I'm a vegan steak and blowjob day. But I would say you don't need an official day.
Did you never celebrate Valentine's Day?
Yeah. But Valentine's Day can be every day. You can lead in love every day.
Do you know what? I also feel like I do like national holidays. I don't know how you're gonna.
Yeah.
I don't know how steak and blowjob can be universally celebrated.
Yeah. What if you don't have a penis? What are you gonna blow?
Well, you can universally celebrate Valentine's Day. So like sometimes I like I've had lovely Valentine's days. Like my mum's given me gear.
I'm quite excited for this Valentine's Day. It's my first Valentine's Day single in a long time, and I'm like,
are you gonna celebrate yourself?
I'm gonna celebrate myself.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm gonna go for a massage.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I feel bad to all of my exes, or all of them. I've only had.
Thank you.
Not
Next.
that I make out like I've had loads of exes, but I've had enough to be fed up. Like I've had enough to be fed up of the dating game. Next one, honestly, I know you feel,
your own chicken shop.
I know you feel differently about this, but like next one, I'm like literally I know I'm going to marriage or nothing. I'm not interested.
Oh
anymore.
yeah, no, don't mistake me. I'm the same. I'm like, if it's not the next level, I ain't interested.
Yeah, so
like,
no.
And
I
want it all.
Also, what I've noticed that I'm really...
I deserve it all. Exactly. You deserve it all. We all deserve it all.
I'm much better at dating myself. Like I do so much. I've done so much for myself that like
you hear of these really wanky phrases, don't you? Like, is it Emma Watson? She says I'm self-partnered, and everyone's like, what does that mean?
I don't
know.
But
it's like, but that is it, isn't it? It's like you're not single. You're self-partnered, and actually you're self-partnered for life. You should be.
Yeah, so I like at this point, if a man cannot offer me like emotional intelligence, like it's very and stability, there's not really much they can offer me.
Well, at the end of the day, a relationship should amplify what's already there.
Because I figured out I can take myself on holiday.
Yeah.
I can look. I'm dressed up for the podcast. Like, and I've always noticed that. Like,
to the theatre.
Yeah, I've done. Yeah.
I can burn myself.
So I'm not gonna date. I'm not gonna fall in love or marry a guy because he takes me on cool or expensive dates and rubs my butt. I need more than that. Because I'll be in Bali.
It's about going on a journey.
Yeah, I'll be in Bali. I'll be in Bali for this Valentine's Day, and it's literally going to be my best. Like sometimes I have to accept that in terms of like how I've treated myself and spoilt myself, a man cannot compare.
Yeah.
A man cannot treat me and spoil me more than I've spoilt myself. At this point, I just need someone that's very emotionally intelligent and a good communicator.
Yeah.
Obviously, like takes an interest in me to some extent. Do you know what I mean? Like I think in the past I've dated people where like they have no interest in my life. Oh, you do your podcast. No. I'd never watch it. Now I'm kind of like I tell people on the Christian dating app that I've got a podcast and like, oh, can I see it?
Yeah.
Like I like that you have to take an interest in somewhat.
Because again, it comes back to you living from love and love of what you enjoy doing, and then you'll attract the right people. Just have faith in that. We don't need to seek. We are divine feminines. We attract and we receive.
Amen to that. So thank you so much. That's like literally, but it's a wrap. Do you have any final thoughts? And do you want to say final thoughts? And where can people find you?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Sex From Every Angle. My podcast is on my podcast will be available from February 14th on every platform.
Valentine's
Spotify.
Day.
Valentine's Day. I wonder why I did that.
Yeah.
And I think, just be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be vulnerable. And it's that old classic saying that your vulnerability can be your greatest strength. Look at all the most amazing, beautiful art that has been created in the world, and songs and music and films. It has probably come from someone's vulnerability, from someone's heartbreak. Yeah. So alchemize it.
Amen to that. And I also feel like you can be the artist of your life. It doesn't even if you're not a creative. Yeah. If that breakup inspires you to go on that holiday, do that course, amazing.
Yeah, because to be creative, it doesn't necessarily mean there has to be a physical manifestation of that through like music or artwork or film. It's like, well, you can be creative in other ways. What are you going to create? And I think it's very important, actually, that it brings us to sex, really.
And then you might attract a love that will last. I'm going to end it on love because it's leading in love. Thank you so much. Because I feel like if you are yourself, you'll probably attract something that will last.
And that's a wrap for this Leading in Love podcast collaboration episode with Emma from the Sex from Every Angle podcast on this topic of attraction. As we wrap up this insightful episode, we want to remind our listeners the importance of seeking professional support when navigating the complexities of attraction, especially if you find yourself in situations that feel toxic. It's crucial to prioritize your emotional and mental well-being. Remember, you are not alone. There are resources and professionals available to help you guide you through these challenging experiences. Thank you for joining us on this journey to explore connection, understanding, and love. We hope our conversation inspires you to seek positivity in your relationships and encourages open dialogue on this topic of attraction. I've listed some UK resources available for both women and men to support you to seek help if you or anyone else that you know is experiencing difficulty in relation to any of the things we discussed in this podcast. And please do not hesitate to reach out, share your thoughts, and continue engaging with us. Until next time, take care of yourself, each other, and the planet.